A shadow over paradise. The enduring struggle with corruption in Colombia. Colombia, a land of breathtaking landscapes, vibrant culture, and resilient people, bears the heavy burden of a persistent foe, corruption. Like a parasitic vine, it has wrapped its tendrils around the nation's institutions, hindering progress and eroding public trust. Despite efforts to combat this scourge, corruption continues to cast a long shadow over Colombia's present and future. From the highest levels of government to everyday interactions, corruption manifests in various forms, from bribery and embezzlement to influence peddling and abuse of power. It is a complex issue with deep historical roots and far-reaching consequences, impacting every facet of Colombian society. The fight against corruption is not merely a matter of upholding ethical standards. It is fundamental to safeguarding democracy, ensuring equitable development, and securing a just and prosperous future for all Colombians. It demands a collective effort, one that transcends political divides and empowers citizens to demand accountability and transparency. The path to a corruption-free Colombia is long and arduous, but it is a journey that must be undertaken. By acknowledging the scope of the problem, understanding its underlying causes, and working together to implement effective solutions, Colombia can break free from the grip of corruption and fulfill its true potential. The numbers tell a tale: Colombia's descent in the Corruption Perception Index. The Corruption Perception Index, published annually by Transparency International, serves as a stark reminder of the challenges Colombia faces. This global barometer, which ranks 180 countries and territories by their perceived levels of public sector corruption, paints a sobering picture of the nation's standing. In 2024, Colombia received a score of 39 out of 100, a 5-position drop from the previous year. This dismal performance places the country among the lowest ranked in the Americas, trailing behind neighbors such as Uruguay, Chile, and Costa Rica. The decline in Colombia's CPI score is a cause for serious concern. It signals a perceived worsening of corruption in the country, which can have detrimental effects on foreign investment, economic growth, and public trust in government. While the CPI provides a valuable benchmark, it is crucial to remember that it reflects perceptions of corruption, not necessarily its actual prevalence. Nonetheless, the index serves as a wake-up call, highlighting the urgent need for concrete action to address the issue. A litany of scandals. Recent cases that have shaken the nation. Recent years have witnessed a string of high-profile corruption scandals that have shaken Colombia to its core, exposing the deep-rooted nature of the problem and fueling public outrage. These cases, involving politicians, government officials, and business leaders, have eroded public trust and highlighted the urgent need for greater accountability and transparency. One of the most egregious scandals involved the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management, a government agency responsible for responding to emergencies. In 2024, revelations of widespread corruption within the UNGRD, including the misappropriation of funds intended for disaster relief, sent shockwaves through the country. The scandal, which implicated high-ranking officials and politicians, involved the alleged overpricing of contracts for water tankers meant for the drought-stricken La Guajira region. Millions of dollars were siphoned off, depriving vulnerable communities of much-needed aid. Adding to the outrage, allegations surfaced of bribes paid to secure favorable contracts. The scandal implicated not only government officials, but also members of Congress, further eroding public trust in the country's institutions. A society held hostage. The devastating impact of corruption on everyday life. The consequences of corruption extend far beyond the halls of power, casting a long shadow over the lives of ordinary Colombians. From dilapidated schools and overcrowded hospitals to crumbling infrastructure and inadequate public services, the corrosive effects of corruption are felt acutely by those who can least afford it. When public funds are siphoned off to line the pockets of corrupt officials, essential services suffer. Schools lack basic supplies, hospitals struggle to provide adequate care, and infrastructure projects are left unfinished or poorly constructed. Corruption also creates an uneven playing field, where connections and bribes often trump merit and hard work. This undermines the rule of law, discourages investment, and perpetuates inequality. Small businesses struggle to compete, while citizens are denied opportunities to succeed based on their own merits. The human cost of corruption is immeasurable. It fuels poverty, widens the gap between rich and poor, and erodes social cohesion. It creates a climate of cynicism and distrust, leaving citizens feeling powerless and disillusioned. Section 5. A government's response. Measures to combat corruption and promote transparency. In response to mounting public pressure and the urgency of the situation, the Colombian government has taken steps to combat corruption and promote transparency. These efforts, while commendable, face significant challenges in a country where corruption has become deeply entrenched. One notable initiative is the National Anti-Corruption Strategy, launched in 2024. This comprehensive plan aims to strengthen institutions, enhance transparency mechanisms, and foster a culture of integrity. The strategy includes measures to protect whistleblowers, who play a crucial role in exposing corruption. By providing legal safeguards and support, the government aims to encourage individuals to come forward with information about wrongdoing without fear of retaliation. Another key aspect of the government's approach is strengthening the capacity of law enforcement and judicial institutions to investigate and prosecute corruption cases effectively. This includes providing adequate resources, training, and support to ensure that those who engage in corrupt practices are held accountable. Section 6. Guardians of Integrity. The vital role of civil society in the fight against corruption. In the face of persistent corruption, civil society organizations, or CSOs, have emerged as vital guardians of integrity, playing a crucial role in monitoring, exposing, and combating wrongdoing. These organizations, driven by a commitment to transparency and accountability, provide a voice to the voiceless and hold those in power to account. Transparencia por Colombia, the national chapter of Transparency International, has been at the forefront of the fight against corruption for decades. Through research, advocacy, and citizen engagement, the organization works to promote transparency, strengthen institutions, and empower citizens to demand accountability. CSOs play a crucial role in monitoring public procurement processes, tracking public spending, and exposing irregularities. They also work to raise public awareness about corruption, its costs, and the importance of citizen engagement in combating it. By empowering citizens with information and tools to hold their leaders accountable, CSOs are helping to create a more transparent and accountable society. Their work is essential to complementing government efforts and ensuring that the fight against corruption is sustained and effective. Section 7. A global perspective. Lessons learned and best practices from around the world. Colombia's struggle with corruption is not unique. Countries around the world face similar challenges, and valuable lessons can be learned from those that have made progress in combating this scourge. One such lesson is the importance of political will at the highest levels of government. Without a genuine commitment from leaders to tackle corruption head-on, even the best-designed policies and institutions will fail to deliver results. Another key takeaway is the need for comprehensive and coordinated action. Corruption is a complex problem that requires a multi-pronged approach, involving not only government but also civil society, the private sector, and the media. Transparency and access to information are also paramount. Sunlight, as the saying goes, is the best disinfectant. By making government data more accessible to the public, countries can empower citizens to hold their leaders accountable and deter corruption. Section 8. The Power of the People. A call to action for every Colombian citizen. The fight against corruption is not a spectator sport. It requires the active participation of every citizen. From the bustling streets of Bogotá to the remote villages of the Amazon, each Colombian has a role to play in building a more transparent and accountable society. The first step is to educate ourselves about corruption, its costs, and its impact on our lives. By understanding the problem, we can become more discerning citizens, demanding greater transparency and accountability from our leaders. We must also be willing to speak out against corruption, whether it is encountered in our daily lives or witnessed in the corridors of power. By reporting instances of bribery, extortion, or abuse of power, we can help to shed light on wrongdoing and deter future acts of corruption. Another powerful tool at our disposal is the ballot box. By supporting candidates who prioritize transparency and accountability, we can send a clear message that corruption will not be tolerated. Section 9. Towards a brighter future. Envisioning a Colombia free from the grip of corruption. Imagine a Colombia where public resources are used for the benefit of all, not just a select few. A Colombia where schools are well-funded, hospitals are equipped to provide quality care, and infrastructure projects are completed on time and within budget. Imagine a Colombia where the rule of law prevails, where contracts are awarded based on merit, and where every citizen has an equal opportunity to succeed, regardless of their background or connections. This is the Colombia we must strive to create, a Colombia free from the grip of corruption, where transparency, accountability, and integrity are the guiding principles of governance. The journey ahead will not be easy, but by working together, we can overcome the challenges and build a brighter future for ourselves and for generations to come. Let us embrace this challenge with courage, determination, and an unwavering belief in the power of collective action.